Okay, says we are live. Hopefully that is true and we are doing good. Take the third sprint banner off. How we doing? Chaotic, I guess. Um, happy Friday. Happy last Friday of February. It's been what feels like a whirlwind of a month. Even though February is usually a good bit shorter, feels like. But it's been especially so. Um, and I'm not really seeing signs of March slowing down a whole lot, maybe slightly slower in terms of life. Um, but I'm hoping that March will have a better balance of life happening and writing happening. um, so that's hopefully going to be the case for March. Um, I have ordered some of the iridescent star stickers so that I can do sort of like what I'm calling an additive goal tracking. Um, so instead of just like checking boxes, I've got to figure out how I want to do it. Like, do I want to like create a spread that looks like, I don't know, the night sky over mountains, just have like little mini mountains at the bottom, and then like fill the sky with stars as I like check days off where I get a certain number of goals or like more than half of the goals type of worked on. So I'm trying to figure out how I want to do that in like quarter two. And so I'm gonna try and like trial a couple of things during March. I don't have all the things that I like want to use, but I've got like the um, standard reward stickers type thing that I can like play around with in terms of trial and error. Because I've thought about like the night sky type tracker, but then I've also thought about drawing a giant jar and filling it with little stars. Again, like I am externally motivated, and I love stickers, and so if I am tracking with stickers, maybe I'm more likely to like keep up with the tracking of things. Because then it doesn't feel like I'm just like taking a box or like starting the X and then like finishing it when I'm completing it. So I'm trying to find ways to motivate myself to do the healthy habits, um, things like that. So, and because I really love the idea of like I'm like such a fan of Wallace Mo's short series, a series of daily shorts when doing the 75-day challenge for making sure that you've got the water, making sure you've gotten the exercise, or making sure you've gotten your physical therapy in, making sure that you've got, all these things. And I'm like, I really like this. And again, like I've she just has a couple of glimpses of the journal. She doesn't have like a full on, here's my journal, what the page looks like, da da da. And that's perfectly fine because that's her journal. It's how she wants to use it. But she, yeah, like Stacey says, she does like the colors in the blocks or the bars. And I do, like, I kind of like it, but at the same time, I feel like I want something that's like more fun, more cutesy. I don't know. Um, and so I'm hoping that like the little star stickers will be maybe a good start there. Um, so yes, that's kind of where I'm going with that in terms of plans. But I'm not entirely sure. So as I've mentioned, I'm going to trial and error a couple of things during March, so that then headed into quarter two, um, where we have a new 3-month block for the quarter. I'm kind of that way I'll be able try it out and then go like, oh, this part isn't working. I don't like this. Well, let's try and modify it this other way. I've also seen where people do like Tetris. And so like the different shapes and colors are, they assign a key to it. So like the L shape would be for like doing the dishes, or, so like tasks. And then you go about your day and your month and you sort of like try and fill it up. And I think that's fun too, sort of like gamifying, but retro. So I don't know. So I really am sort of liking that kind of idea, which does seem sort of counterintuitive because a lot of times I don't go back to some of the trackers because they require like more than 2 seconds. So I'm not sure the Tetris thing is exactly what I need, but I like the idea of it. Monique says, oh, okay, so you've tried the adulting Tetris. It's been fun, but unfortunately the one you use fills up quickly. Ooh, okay. So do you just need more Tetris boards? More like sections? You have it filled up when you're halfway through the month. Okay. So what about, could you make it a bi-weekly? Would that be too much? Like, or do you like the, like a 2-week cycle of Tetris? So in a month you'd have 2 Tetris boards, or potentially 2.5, depending on how many weeks are in a month. You feel like March is going to be a little bit more of the same. Yeah, well, I'm keeping my hopes up. I am keeping my hopes up. So, plus, since I've started going to the doctor and gotten some of the appointments out of the way, I had 7 appointments in just over 2 weeks. Trying to get myself established and like connected to all the different referrals and all that kind of stuff. So it was like 2 weeks in a day. March, I have 7 appointments lined up, but it's over the entirety of the month rather than 2 weeks. So it's like, okay. The only one, so I start physical therapy, thank goodness, finally, on the week of my birthday, which is the week of the 9th. So I don't know that first appointment. I don't know if they're going to determine, do I need to come in once a week? Are they going to send me home with exercises that I have to do daily? And they're going to check on me in 2 weeks. Like, I don't know what the prospect of physical therapy is going to look like. So that's the only question I have in terms of that. Plus, so the 18th, which is Wednesday, y'all will not see me because that is when I'm going to have my gallbladder removed. So supposedly it is a pretty minimally invasive, like laparoscopic situation. And so hopefully I should be back on that Friday and be all good. But I also don't know what follow-up appointments I'll have with that. So I will probably have more than 7 appointments in March. But I've tried to schedule everything for like the mornings or Tuesdays or Thursdays so that I don't have to rearrange our writing schedule too much, which would be so nice because I need some sort of structure and like a regular aspect of my life. Oh, Monique says happy Friday. Thank you. Happy Friday. Your goal for March is going to be for you to finish the outline for Drama of the Undead. Nice. Excellent. Monique says quarterly planning definitely helps for long-term projects. It does, yeah, because it gives you a bigger picture. And it maybe makes it feel like the deadline is not quite so far away. But once you start to break it down, then and like get your chunks and like smaller tasks and things, it does allow you to have those mini deadlines, if you will. Neil says life is crazy. Yes, agreed. You're trying to get some words in today, but distractions are everywhere. Oh no, hopefully we can help, but also be gentle with yourself because yeah, life is happening. Elizabeth says hello, welcome. Free Range is here. Hello. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. Monique says, yesterday I watched the new Bridgerton episodes. Then you went out to vote for the Texas primary and saw the writers for the Houston rodeo making their way down the streets. Wow, you had a busy day. So we were talking about the Tetris. Elizabeth says to Neil, if life could life a little less when we're trying to write, it would be great. It would be. It would be really nice of life to do that for us. Stacey says most of your coloring is with word count, so you do swatches at a time and not daily. Ah, okay, nice. I like it. Kara is here and has pulled from the Enchanted Map deck, Spirit of Place. It's number 4. Authenticity is the essence of power. And that is, I think, very true, because when you are your authentic self, or when you are writing your authentic dream or whatever it is, it calls to people who like us for us, or like our story for the story. And those who are not gravitating towards us because of they find us or our writing off-putting, it's okay if they leave. It doesn't have to, they don't have to stick around. You don't have to want their attention. So authenticity is very important. This is where we're talking about more of the Tetris. Elizabeth likes the idea of the adulting Tetris, so you might have to try that. Yes. Thank you. I appreciate it. I am pretty nervous about it, but I'm also sort of still just kind of blocking it out because it's not happening yet. Like, I haven't had the pre-surgery consultation with the surgeon, like the hospital / outpatient staff. Haven't talked to the anesthesia, like none of that. Haven't paid for it yet, that kind of thing. So we're just in that weird limbo. So, but I am excited about getting it done, so I don't have to worry about it. That's the one thing, is because I am I will worry myself to death about everything. And so having it taken care of, because the surgeon was essentially like, we can go ahead and take care of it, because it's been noted you have a large gallstone, yay, and you've had some symptoms on and off over the years. So we can go ahead and take care of it, or you can wait till it's an emergency and we can have to take care of it then. So I was like, I see what you're doing there. Okay. But yeah, so it is what it is, and I'm going to try not to dwell too much. But I am excited for the scenes. I'm hoping to get through, I would like to get through ideally 3 scenes today. Honestly, I think I'm probably only going to be able to do 2. But shall we aim for 3 just because? 2 of them are shorter scenes, which is why I think maybe I can get 3. I can at least get 2, I think. But yeah, so my goal for the day is at least 2, minimum 2 of these scenes, the 2 shorter ones in particular. And then I would like to see just how far I can get in that 3rd scene before the stream is over. So yeah. The other thing is the poll for today. The poll is about scented candles. So your main character smells a candle. Well, what scent is it? And this could be any scenario. Is this the candle that your main character is shopping for? Is this a candle that is lit when your main character is going into this new scene? Is this a character that has stepped into a haunted house and smells something they maybe shouldn't be there? Just any kind of scenario. Just like if your main character is smelling a scent, what scent might it be? Vanilla and lavender, some sort of pine, sandalwood, evergreen scent. Is it going to be something rose, gardenia, something very floral? Or is it more along the lines of like a tropical ocean type scent? There we go. So what scent is your main character smelling? And of course, there are plenty of other things. I actually put pumpkin spice on there and then took it off. There are things that, like fresh linen, things like honey, eucalyptus, there's all kinds of other scents. But again, we are sort of limited in choices for the poll. So if you have a scent in mind that is not on the poll, please let us know what it is in the chat. Monique's goal for today is going to be to work on Ishmael's character profile. Nice. And you chose vanilla and lavender for Susie. She would definitely light a candle to calm herself, possibly even for meditation. Nice. Yeah. I tend to go for, me personally, lighter scents. So like, I don't often do something like a rose or a gardenia just because they tend to be really overwhelming. I do occasionally like the woodsy, like pine, evergreen situations. I find a lot of like vanilla flavors can sometimes be hit or miss with me, because sometimes they use like an artificial vanilla that just doesn't smell right. So I think I'm something with lavender, sure. But I'm also likely to go for like an ocean breeze type thing. So, but my main character this time would definitely go for, I think, maybe a citrus. So that would, I think, fall under like a tropical scent. I keep wanting to say flavor, but I know that's not the right. It's not the right word. Don't eat your candles. Stace says, I like light florals, but one of your other favorites that you would give to your main character is sandalwood. Yeah. So, okay, let's check out our kittens and cats for today. We have Don't Bother Me. I'm working undercover as a private eye. PI. We have a very disgruntled looking distinguished cat that is currently working undercover. Monique loves apple scented candles. Ooh, yes, I would agree with that. Okay, and then we have two kitties. We will begin today's recipe when we can find 1 can of tuna and a volunteer with opposable thumbs. Anyone volunteer? I would volunteer my thumbs for you. You're so cute. Very, very cute. Okay, so those are the cats for today. Then we need a we have the bat. And it is inverted, which means it's upside down. It's number 5. So rebirth is assured is the main message. This is how it normally would look. It is upside down. So for the bat, we are out of focus. Out of focus. Let's see if we can get you to refocus. There we go. Okay. What are you refusing to let die? The bat is gently nudging you to let go of your need to cling to the familiar story that has already run its course. A new story is poised to be born. Some dreams were only meant to last for a moment in time. Sometimes they were only there to slow you down as you recalibrated in preparation for the new life that will give you what you really want. Sometimes you need to grieve as you say goodbye to something. At least you are saying goodbye to the familiar form. Perhaps you must let go of a part of yourself that must die so that you can be reborn. This temporary time in the dark does not have to be scary or sad. The bat gives you her powers of perception and awareness as you learn to listen deeply and navigate these unknown caves of temporary emptiness. You will emerge with a new perspective, and the bat will witness you giving birth to the life that matches the intentions and desires of your heart and soul. So there you go. Let's see, Elizabeth said it's going to be a tallow candle because of the setting. Yes, but she would probably like a tropical ocean candle. Nice. You're laughing at the back because you're dealing with vampire characters. Yes. Also, you pulled the lovers from your tarot deck. Does that mean that Ishmael will be Susie's love interest? Only if you want it to be, and only if the characters agree. Andy is waving. Hello, welcome. Okay. The other thing I need to do this weekend is I need to check in with my reading journal because I haven't done that this week. So this weekend, there's a lot of things as we roll over from February to March. But again, for today, I'm going to try and focus on the writing because life has been lifing. So I'm going to get at least 2 scenes done and maybe the third. Cross my fingers. That'll be a nice chunk. Okay, we're going to start with a 30-minute timer. Just make sure my volumes are up. Okay, let's do this. So 1, save your document or bring it up. 2 is make sure that you have something to hydrate with. Cheers. 3, straighten your spine or roll your shoulders back for that posture check. Make sure you're not slouching too much. 4 is if you need a break, take a break. Here we go. 30 minutes in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Had I been unmuted that whole time? Sorry if it was. I had a glass of water, I had a mug of tea, and I opted to get a half glass of soda. So all the drinks are now here. Oh gosh. I opted for a tangerine and orange tea, but I think they have hibiscus in there because it's very red. It's not an orange flavor. I mean, it is orange, but it's not just orange. Anyway, hello, welcome. The pups are awake. They took a whole whopping 25-minute nap. You were hoping that they would sleep a full hour, so now you're back in the land of distractions. Oh no. Yeah. Sometimes they sleep a long time. Sometimes they sleep very short times. And I feel like when they're still pretty young, both puppies, kittens, and humans, that span is pretty short still. Monique says, I think I know why I drew the lovers for Ishmael. Technically speaking, the friendship he has with Susie might not be allowed to happen in strict Muslim circles. True. You don't know if romance is in the air for them, but you know for sure that they are friends that understand each other. You call their dynamic a drift compatible relationship. Nice. Double Jen talking about the puppies. It's like having newborns again. Yeah. Y'all, I had curls and waves this morning, and some of them have fallen out, and some of them are very much like still there. But either way, I can tell that the humidity is back. Is what I will say. The humidity is back. My hair is curling more like it normally does, but it's also frizzing because I don't do much to it. I will be the first to admit that I do not do enough to help the wave pattern that I naturally have. So, oh well. The reason Ishmael and Susie's friendship is not exactly orthodox or halal is because Susie's female. Yep. And non-Muslim. Yes. Yeah, Muslims tend to have strict laws regarding gender relationships. Yes. Yes. Yeah, I figured that was the context. Context clues. So. Alrighty. I got probably like 600, maybe in the 600 range, somewhere between 600 and 700. I did not get done with the first sprint. I mean, the first scene. So hopefully I will finish that and then do the majority of the next scene all at once. Okay, thank you, Monique. Monique is sharing the GoFundMe link for Planning with K's GoFundMe. So make sure you check that out if you have not already done so. And also, second sprint is the self-promo sprint. So make sure you, 1, answer the poll, and 2, do your self-promo. And for our regular reminders, we have saving. Saving the document is number 1. Sorry, I'm also trying to find the right spot in the timer. There we go. Close enough. 1 is save. 2 is sip. So if you have something in front of you, go ahead and sip. Cheers. 3 is straighten your spine or roll your shoulders back for the posture check. And if you need a break, take a break. Here we go. 30 minutes in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. That is the second sprint. I did finish the first scene and moved on to the second. But it's definitely taking me longer than I thought it was going to. So there's that. It always does, though. Always does. Okay. I'm gonna save my document. And yeah. Okay. Kara's gonna have to go at the end of that sprint. Your son and you are taking his cat to the vet. The cat has been yowling a lot, maybe a reaction to the new cats. Okay, yeah, true. Kara says, I remember back in the 80s when your father and you went to New York, your hair poofed up like glam rocker do. I mean, that could also be a fun style, but yeah. You're sort of feeling the black mold thing. Yeah, black mold developed after a water heater dispenser in the mobile home you lived in for 20 years. Yeah. You'll keep the page open so you can remember to donate when you get paid. Yeah. That would be very kind. Kara says, I have a new book promos up at Reader's Roost. Excellent. Good. And a new Substack post. Fantastic. Coffee Crate Connect, this is in terms of the dogs, says, for real, 90% of your day is letting the dogs in, letting them out, cooking them food, preparing treats, taking them on walks and rides, checking on them in the backyard, warming blankets for naps, all the miscellaneous things. It's kind of crazy considering after your last dog passed in August, you said you would never adopt again. You just wanted to foster, but then you had 2 foster fails back to back, and here we are. You don't like the term foster fails. Yeah. I mean, the whole point of fostering, though, is to take care of them until they find their forever home. And if you just happen to be their forever home, I think it's also fine. So, to me, being able to provide 2 dogs the amount of love your dogs get, the almost constant attention, is far from a fail. Yeah. They were both abandoned as puppies, one at 5 months and one at 5 weeks. Goodness. When they get a little older and things are more settled, you'll definitely take fosters again. Yeah. Critters deserve all the love. I agree. You were not sure that you wanted to adopt another cat after Tara died earlier this month, but your son and you ended up adopting 6-year-old littermates. Yeah. It's hard when they're together at the adoption agency or the pound or wherever shelter. It's always hard for the shelter to adopt out pairs. Yeah. The female has never let me pet her, but that's okay. I'm glad we could give both of them a home. Their lives have been unsettled before. Yeah. Yeah, that is the thing. When one of my friends went to adopt a cat, they were siblings. So yeah, littermates. And she couldn't just take one and not the other. So she took both of the brothers, and they were cute. So okay, let's go ahead and do a third sprint. And we'll make this one, I think, is 25. Because that feels about right. Let's do the little otter. There we go. Okay. 1, save your document. 2, make sure you have something to hydrate with. Cheers. 3, Straighten your spine or roll your shoulders back for that posture check. And 4 is if you need a break to swap over the laundry, which I need to do, or any of that, please make sure you take your break. Here we go, 25 minutes in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Ding, ding, ding. Timer is done. How did you do? Hopefully we did okay. I think I'm just shy of finishing this scene. So I'll work just a few minutes longer. And after I end the stream and be able to call it done. I did send the stuff in the dryer around again. Wasn't quite dry. But not bad. The number of words is higher than I was expecting, that's for sure. But did not manage to get those 2 scenes that I wanted to get done. I thought they were going to be shorter, honestly. I thought they were going to be shorter. But they kept going. So, of course, editing me may relegate them back down to a smaller one. But yeah. Funky, hello, welcome. You got some work writing done and brewed coffee, so Friday is looking up. Yes, indeed. And hopefully your annual review that happened on Wednesday had all good comments at the end for you. That'd be good. Stacy says, I've been reading and listening to a trial and you're starting to get a headache. Oh no. Hopefully the headache goes away soon. Have you had some water? is sort of the question. I mean, I know water doesn't fix all the headaches, but it does help me with probably about half of my headaches. So, Punky says, thank goodness it did indeed go well. I am so glad that your annual review went well. Good things. All right, I'm going to save this so that I don't have to worry about losing it. But yeah, so Stacy says, I may have to take some Tylenol. Nods. Yes, do take some Tylenol and chase it down with some water or tea or something. So there is that. I can hear that Mom got back, so that was one thing. So I will hopefully be able to put stuff away for her. I mean, I'm sure she's already put the refrigerated stuff and the frozen stuff away, but look how crazy. Oh well, it's okay. Stop messing with it. Stop messing with it. Stop messing with the hair. It'll be fine. Extreme talent. Yeah. No, my favorite Excedrin is the extra strength. And for a while there, it was the greatest thing that we could buy on the market. It worked way better than anything else. Then they came out with a report, and we couldn't find anywhere. And that was because they had put too much acetaminophen in for several years apparently, and either finally got caught or finally realized, I guess, when they went and blew through their supply, and I don't know how much of whatever chemical compound acetaminophen looks like in the mass quantity form. But yeah, so they came out with a report that was like, oh, it actually had twice as much go juice as it's supposed to have. We are recalibrating our supply manufacturers, and then when they came back, they're still good, but not as good as they used to be. So Mom was like, no, if I'd have known, I'd have stocked up. So that's always the case, though. It's like whoever is in the know and is able to stock up, you need to tell the rest of us about it so that we can also stock up. But yeah, so okay. This weekend plans are to write and read. Those are going to be and prep the goal journal trial and error pages for March, so that I can figure out what I need to change for quarter 2. Can you believe we're already almost done with quarter 1? That just feels so weird and wrong. How? I don't know. Yeah, good Lord. Go figure out how that would happen. I don't know. Don't know, but I like whoever did it on accident. We salute your mistake. That was great. Can you maybe make it again? I mean, I know it's better to know actually how much medicine is in there. That way you can give yourself and medical professionals the information that they should have. However, those things worked so much better than anything else you can buy over the market, over the counter market wise. It was great. So, okay. Let's go ahead, and I've not yet. Your mom used to swear by Goodies powder. I mean, yeah. There are. I've asked my mom about Goodies powder too, because I think when we were young, I saw her use it once or twice when we were on a road trip, and she didn't have anything else with her, so we would stop at the convenience store and use their restroom, get gas, whatever, and she would buy that. And I think I remember her pouring it into her mouth and then like drinking water or whatever to go with it. And I was like, why is it in powdered form? And this is her talking to a child, remember? She straight up told me, well, it's because some people prefer to snort it. And I was like, why? And she's like, well, it reaches the brain faster. So, but then she also added, but it hurts because the chunks are not quite as uniform as they should be. I was like, do you know that? Me as an older person now, I'm like, does she know this from experience? No, she doesn't. She probably wanted to make sure that we did not try snorting Goodies headache powder or anything else. And I mean, to be fair, yes, I have never tried snorting anything, so we're good. It worked. Such an odd form for ingestion, but hey, maybe the powder worked faster. My guess is that the idea behind that was that it did not have to dissolve it from the closely packed pill form. So I'm not entirely sure, however, that you absorbed it any faster. It could have just been a marketing technique to get rid of all the powder that was left at whatever the bottom of the vats, if they just scraped out the vat or the box or whatever and just like packaged that as a separate thing. So I don't know. I have no idea how and why Goodies powder came to be a thing. So do we need to know? Is this a research rabbit hole that we need to fall down into? And report back to the group as to what we find. I don't know. Or he says, yeah, who knows? I've never tried it. I have not either. It did not look like it was easier to take than a pill. So Frankie's like, I think we do need to dive down this rabbit hole. All right, Funky. On Monday, report back on the history of Goodies powder. And I will try and remember as well. And so that between the two of us, maybe we will remember. Okay. Don't forget to have fun this weekend. Don't forget to save this weekend. And don't forget to back up your project this weekend. That is your reminder from the Dawdling Writer, who still has not backed up her projects and should be really taking her own advice. So that's, again, another thing for this weekend. Make sure you save and make sure you back up, and I'll see y'all next week in March. All right. Bye.